Welcome to Islip Town Hall and the swearing-in ceremony for our newly elected Councilman James P. O'Connor. I would like to ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilwoman Mary Kate Mullen. Kate?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could please remain standing, Peter Kletchka from our Department of Public Works and Traffic Safety and entertainer extraordinaire is going to lead us in the Star Spangled Banner.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Supervisor. Hands over your hearts, please, of course. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. You may be seated. Peter, thank you so much for sharing your incredible gift with us, as he does every day of the year, working with us here in the town of Islip in what I like to call our wonderful family in the town. And we're very, very blessed here with many members of the wonderful team in Islip, our commissioners, directors, and we do have some dignitaries too. But before we do, I would like to ask Arthur Abadi, our Director of Personnel, to please deliver the invocation.
Lord, we ask you to shine upon this group of your loyal servants. Please grant upon Councilman O'Connor the ability to help bring this group of wonderful people together in service to our beautiful community. We ask this from the bottom of our hearts, and we truly, truly look forward to a wonderful time with him serving as our new councilman. Amen.
Amen.
Invocations don't usually engender applause, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. We have, before we get to the formal swearing in, I would just like to acknowledge the elected officials and dignitaries that are here with us this morning, and in no particular order, probably in the order that they arrived. We'll start with Legislator Tom Silmy, Suffolk County Legislator Tom Silmy, who represents a portion of the town of Islip. And of course, you heard from our Councilwoman Mary Kate Mullen. Chairman of the Islip Town Republican Party, Bill Garbarino. And of course, our town clerk, who we'll be hearing from, who will do the swearing in, Olga Murray. Olga. Chairman of the Islip Town Conservative Party, John Flynn. Representing Frank McKay from the Suffolk County and New York State Independence Party is Victoria Ryan. Representing New York State Assemblyman and the Minority Leader of the New York State Assembly, Jim Teese, representing Brian Cole. And an Assemblyman who represents us and represents us well in the town of Islip, Assemblyman Andrew Garbarino. someone who formerly served as the Islip Town Attorney, who is now District Court Judge, and a good friend, Rob Cicali. And someone who, for 2 more days, will be an Islip Town Councilman, but is the Suffolk County Legislator-elect for the 11th Legislative District, all within the Town of Islip, and that is Steve Flatteran. And I'm very grateful, too, that we have representatives here from UPSI, our union that represents both blue and white collar employees here in the Town of Islip, and we are so grateful to have such an incredible partnership with Kevin Boyle and all the representatives of UPSI who are there for our employees, and we're there together, and it's really been very, very rewarding, and we're very grateful for that. Also, too, we have Nick Lalota, who's Deputy Commissioner of New York State Suffolk County Board of Elections, and representing, I don't see him, but Chairman of the Suffolk County Republican Party, John J. Lavelle. And a gentleman who serves us in the New York State Senate, who is a real friend to the Town of Islip, who's been our partner, and that is New York State Senator Phil Boyle. And hopefully I've not forgotten anyone, but if I have, I know I'll be reminded. So without further ado, I would ask Olga to please come forward with our Councilman-elect James P. O'Connor. If you would just come to the front. Our photographer instructed me that it's the best shot. Jim town sealed behind, so we'd like it to be special for you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Ordinarily on Fridays, I'm performing marriages in here. And I don't want to say that's ominous with Jim taking the oath this morning with the Town of Islip, but thank you very much for being here in support of Jim and the town. And without further ado, Jim, if you'd like to raise your right hand.
Turn the Bible.
Like to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, James P. O'Connor,
I, James P. O'Connor,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of New
the
York,
Constitution of the State of New York,
and the local laws and ordinances of the Town of Islip,
and the local laws and ordinances of the Town of Islip,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of councilman
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of councilman
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations, you are sworn in.
Thank you. You know, I was glad that Olga made the reference to marriage because it kind of is like a marriage, being a member of a body like the town board, the Islip Town Board in particular. And we may not always get along, but I think at the end of the day, if everyone is there for one another and for the residents and especially employees of the Town of Islip, we will do nothing but have positive outcomes. And from the time I met Jim, and it's been a few years, I know him to be a man of his word. I know him to be someone who is a caring individual, and that's a great recipe for success. I know he's going to do a wonderful job for us in the town. So Jim, if you'd like to come up and say a few words, I just would like to present you with your official nameplate and your official Town of Islip tie tack. And please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I was told about 13 times already to be brief. Angie didn't, but my mother did. My wife did, and my children have. Most people know lawyers are the only people who can call it 1,800-page document a brief. So a brief to me might not quite mean the same to them. I'm a person who likes to believe that you never say never. That there's always a possibility, a new possibility of something new that can happen. Next month I'll turn 55, and I think it's a pretty safe bet that I will never win the Academy Award. So you'll have to indulge me. This is the equivalent of my Academy Award speech, where I have to give all my thank yous. I want to first thank my opponents. Being a political candidate is a very difficult thing. I acknowledge this during the campaign. You put yourself out there. Your family is out there, and it is a difficult thing to do. So I want to thank Mr. Fenley and Mr. Gonzalez for the campaign that they ran this past fall, and acknowledge that, because that's important in our society, that we have free and fair elections and and campaigns where people are given a choice. And so I thank them for their service to their communities and holding themselves out as candidates. I want to thank my campaign manager, Jay Bowers, and my campaign treasurer, Don Ritaliata Jr. People had asked me why I chose those two people, and it's pretty easy. If you go around in the circles that a lot of us travel in, you will never hear anybody say a bad word about Jay Bowers or Don Ritaliata Jr. And for me, when we practice in the trade we practice in, it is almost blood sport to speak badly of others. So when you find people who nobody has a bad word to say about, you put yourself close to those people. So I thank you, Jay and Don, for helping me in my campaign. It is, being elected to office is a political process as well as a community process. So I want to thank the political leaders who supported me, Chairman McKay, represented by Victoria Ryan, Chairman Flynn, and Chairman Garbarino. Thank you so much for putting your trust in me. I hope I rewarded that. I know that we won, but now it's the time to show the people that the decision you made in choosing me as the candidate was the right decision. I want to thank the zone leaders, the committee people, the club members, and the volunteers who spent time helping me in my electoral efforts. I want to thank my fellow elected officials. Thank you for embracing me and welcoming me back to the club. I was an elected official 20 years ago, I guess, January 1st, I was sworn in as a councilman in North Hempstead, so this is kind of a resurrection, if you will, rising from the ashes. Particularly, I want to thank Supervisor Carpenter for all of her help and guidance through the process. She was terrific, and I really appreciate it. I want to thank my fellow town board members, those who are leaving and those who I'll be serving with. Please indulge me as I make some rookie mistakes along the way. I know I will, but it will always be with the best interest of trying to do the right thing. I want to thank a lot of my friends who are here with me today. I have a friend who's here with me who I would say, I don't want to say oldest because that's not accurate. My longest friend is my friend Kevin O'Connor. Kevin and I went to high school together, and when we were in 10th grade, we played JV football, and the coach used to put O'Connor against O'Connor all the time in this crazy drill called Nutcracker, and we really went at each other pretty good. We remain good friends today. We work in the same industry. I actually had a chance to hire Kevin. He now uses my firm for some of the business that we do for his company, and he is a leader in his community in West Islip. So that's my oldest friend going back to 5th grade, and I have some of my new friends here, like the Corbs and the Halals and the Celentanos and Denise Sheridan, and our friends from our Bayberry community that Maureen and I have embraced since we've moved out here. And so I have my old friends and my new friends, and I think the saying is very true, make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. And I treasure all of you because you keep me grounded, and that makes me a better person, and I hope will make me a better councilman. I want to thank, of course, my family. First, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, not only for being there for me, but also for coming to the Sayville train station at 5:30 in the morning on election morning. 79-year-old mom out there, mother-in-law out there, working the commuters at 5:30. So I want to thank my three brothers. Two of them are here today, Rob and Gerard, but my brother Tom as well. There is a thought that folks who are elected to public office elevate, and some actually think literally. Some elected officials have been known, of course not in this room, present company excluded of course, but some elected officials have been known to have egos and big heads. If you want to stay grounded and not worry about getting too big of an ego or too big of a head, all you have to do is surround yourself with your three brothers, and they will knock you down quicker than you know. They will remind you who you are and where you come from. I want to thank my children. Megan is here with us this morning. Thomas, as every good O'Connor, is out working today. He's working his way back from New Jersey. He's been on New Jersey all week with his company. And Matthew is at his program this morning, but he gave me a big kiss on his way out the door at 8:30 this morning. So I want to thank them. I want to thank our dear family friend Zelina for everything she does for our family to keep us as a functioning and well-oiled machine. I want to thank my mother and my deceased father for raising me with the values that I have to strongly believe in public service and giving back to your community. So Mom, thank you. And of course, lastly but not least, I want to thank my wife for allowing me to do everything that I do and for being the man that I am and the person that I am. So thank you, love. Now on, the Academy Award part of the speech is over. On to some brief comments. I was asked during the campaign what my goals were, what my direction I thought would be for the town of Islip. And I had to think a lot about that because I've taken on a few campaigns in my life, and there needs to be a theme to a campaign, an idea, what it is that you're presenting yourself as and what you stand for. And so I jokingly would say to people, well, if I could just stay out of the way and not screw things up, I think I'm going to be okay. But that was a joke, and the truth to the joke is that things here in Islip are run very well. We have great stewards of our township in the current supervisor and the current members of the town board. We have a AAA bond rating, the highest bond rating you can have. We have strong municipal services for a tax rate that I think is fair. For the people who demand the services that we deliver on the town level, I think the tax rate is very fair and very true. And we have, of course, extremely hardworking commissioners, deputy commissioners, staff, and people who give of themselves every day to their community by just punching in and going to work every day. So, and that is not to be understated in any way, shape, or form. So things here in Islip are good, and it really was my intention not to get in the way, but to try and add some dynamic to the town board that would hopefully allow us to do better. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has a formula or a recipe for success, and that if somehow I could add to it and make things a little better, that was why I held myself out as a candidate, and that's what I hope to add to the town board. My friend Ron Gibbons is here, my fellow commissioner, I guess for the next 2 days, on the Great River Fire District. And when we had our last meeting, Commissioner Shires is here as well, I see. When we had our last meeting a couple of Tuesday nights ago, by the way, Senator Boyle is a member of our fire department, so to a certain extent, I'm his boss. But only for a couple more days. Ron, we had our last meeting, and Ron Gibbons said to me, when the meeting concluded and we adjourned for a refreshment down the street at Strip Steak, Ron said to me, do something courageous, do something bold, do something extraordinary. And I thought about it for a minute, and I said to Ron, I'm a historian a little bit, I like history, and one of my favorite historical figures is Abraham Lincoln. And I said, do you think Abraham Lincoln woke up every day and said, what can I do historic today? What can I do monumental today? One of the most significant people in our country's history. And I think, I don't know, but I think that Abraham Lincoln woke up every day saying, I'm going to do the best I can today. I'm going to do the best I can for my community, for my country, and give everything that I can to do the right thing today. And I think that's the way I hope to conduct myself as a town councilman. So Ron, I'll try and be historic and courageous, but it's just going to be by getting up every day and trying to do the right thing by the people of the town of Islip. So the campaign is over, and it's time to govern and lead. And I hope that I'm prepared for that. I think that a lot of what I've done in my life has prepared me for that, and I look forward to serving on the board with my colleagues and serving the people of the town of Islip. I promise to always put the Islip residents first. I have no agenda. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not asking for anything. Sometimes in politics, that makes you the most dangerous guy in the room. But I'm not looking for anything or asking for anything. I'm just looking to serve and serve my community well. So I will make mistakes. I will acknowledge that up front, but it will never be for lack of effort, and it will never be for the wrong reasons, and that I can promise you from the bottom of my heart. I thank Supervisor Carpenter for putting this ceremony together today. I know that there are some refreshments here. It's cold out there, so make sure you grab some of the warm refreshments. But for those who might need some stronger fortification or some stronger cheer as we work our way into the new year, my wife and I would like to invite everybody to Captain Bill's. I think it's the greatest restaurant in the entire South Shore. Mike, did I get that right? Commercial right? I have to get the plug in and get the commercial right. My friend Mike Korb, my tennis partner, by the way, puts up with me all summer long, dragging me around the tennis court. So enjoy the refreshments, but join us at Captain Bill's for a drink and a glass of holiday cheer later this afternoon at around noontime, okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
I think after listening to Jim's heartfelt comments here this morning, we can all rest assured that he will do an absolutely fine job as our next Islip Town Councilman. So, Peter, if you will, as Jim said, please have some coffee, some cookies, and Peter is going to help us close the program with God Bless America. And I invite everybody to sing, and I know that's not going to be a hard task for you guys because some people did join in the Star Spangled Banner. So please, everyone, join Peter as we ask God to bless America and bless this wonderful town of Islip.
With apologies to Kate Smith. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam.